Some people think that YouTube is just a job or a career for people to get on a microphone and just talk trash. And that is true. I talk a lot of trash for a living and make some dollars from it. But depending on where you live in the world, YouTube is also very dangerous. And depending on what country that you live in, YouTube can literally get your ass gunshots! It can get your ass shot. And when you get on here and you put out your opinions, it could also put your life or your family's life in danger. And this is the case with a YouTuber that I've actually met and hung out with before, Dr. Mumbi Seraki. Dr. Mumbi Seraki is a YouTuber based out of Nairobi, Kenya. And she is a Pan-African YouTuber, but she's always been more focused on local government politics, even from her days on the radio. She's very known in Nairobi, and she is what you would call a fence rattler. And I remember when I met her with Wodemaya some years ago, and he was even asking about her controversial takes.
Why do you love being controversial? That's the first question.
Well, for me, really, my theme is Wake Up Africa. And I don't know if people actually think that I do take that very, very seriously. And I think one of the things that us as Africans hold us back is we're so afraid. I think it's in our upbringing, the mix of culture and education, where you couldn't question anything, you couldn't question elders, everything you were told you took at face value. So my only point is to kind of trigger you to think in a totally different way and to make you emotional. I mean, if you're getting emotional, it says a lot more about you than it says about me. No, if I'm making it, because some people will write me long letters and I'm like, wow, like this is so about you. If I could give you a little counseling session, I could unlock some things in your life. But yeah.
That was in 2018. That was 7 years ago. And Dr. Mumbi has done nothing but become more radical as time goes on. Clips like this have gotten her into a lot of controversy.
This is for entertainment purposes only. So now, with everything we've got going on in Kenya and the whole revolution and trying to get rid of Nabi, all of a sudden now, and I know it's not all of a sudden, the United Nations has announced that they will be moving significant operations of UNICEF, which is all about the United Nations Child Education Fund, and UNFPA to Nairobi. I keep telling you, Kenya ain't no ordinary land, family. There's something these guys know about Kenya, and they're not telling us, but they're exploiting it. And I talked on my YouTube channel about how now that Trump has kicked out the globalists of the divided states, they're looking for a new home. And let's pray and hope that Kenya does not become the new headquarters of the New World Order agenda, because they want to hit population. They want to affect the education of children, and environment is the biggest thing. And they'll all be in Kenya, those three altars.
Now, it all started a few days ago when Dr. Mumbi didn't post any videos to TikTok or being active on Twitter. That's usually unlike her. And I know that Dr. Mumbi posts at least once a day. She had told me she had been critical of then President Kenyatta Uhuru. And at that particular point, she came home one day or to her studio, and somebody had broke into that studio and trashed the place completely. She was also critical of President Museveni and made a lot of videos about him. And they actually reached out to her to invite her to Uganda. She declined that visit and never took that flight. But let's get back to the story. She wasn't active for 3 days on social media, so many people were concerned. So I want to go back to March 14th. Dr. Mumbi posted, so looks like Williams Rudo, Chaos Spirit, took out the symbolic representation of the Wizard of Oz. Then she also reposts, people who have a problem with what's going on with the government. Look at this, she reposted. Rah, look at us. Who'd have the balls to even try and stop us? Masked cowards and unmarked Ford Rangers. I don't think so. Literally round 2, no breaks, no going home. We'll uproot State House perimeter walls from the ground if we have to. Then people started looking for Dr. Mumbi around March 15th, and they could not find her. Then we come to this post from Francis Gatho. Abduction alert. Name, Dr. Mumbi. X handle, Dr. Mumbi Seraki. Profession, activist. Last seen 72 hours ago. Abductors, the Kenyatta family. 2, government of Kenya. And then you started seeing people making content such as this.
Some disturbing reports about Mumbi Seraki, who's a popular social commentator and activist. She's popular on TikTok as Dr. Mumbi Seraki, a really active member of the Kenyan TikTok family. Now, her friends are reporting her as missing. They say they last spoke to her 72 hours ago. Her phone has been off since. Her whereabouts are unknown. And so some really worrying developing situation about a really active member of the Kenyan TikTok community. She last posted 3 days ago, which for her followers like me is quite unusual because she posts really regularly, of course on a daily basis.
Then you get Evan Sr. Let's speak up for Mumbi Seraki. She's allegedly been missing for 3 days. She's been a critic of the William Ruto government and likely has been abducted. If you see this tweet on your timeline, just share it. Caught Songo writes, I have received a call from a close friend of Dr. Mumbi Seraki. Her phone has been off and can't be reached for the last 3 days. I have also checked her socials and she is not posted for that duration. Something is off. We don't know what's going on. Anyone who knows her whereabouts, kindly reach out. Now, Francis Gatho says, I have spoken to Dr. Mumbi Seraki and she's safe. She had been lured by a friend, some lawyer, to meet up. And you know what they say, the only trustworthy lawyer is a dead one. She says she was drugged and can't recollect much. Only that they got into a freak accident and the vehicle somehow burnt to ashes with all her valuables. And she has been in hospital ever since. Was discharged today and currently in the company of family and friends. It was definitely a setup because even though her handbag with belongings and document was burnt, her phone was still showing that it's tracking on the SGR to Nairobi. I won't stop reiterating the frontliners to stop meeting people, including friends. Stop it. NIS can do anything. For you guys don't know, NIS means National Intelligence Service, okay? Dr. Mumbi herself posts proof of life and thank you for hashtag free Mumbi Seraki. They almost got me last Friday, family, but as fate would have it, I am back home, safe and sound. Battered, bruised, burnt, but still very much here to bring in the new dawn. What was supposed to be a casual sherehe. Now, if you can look at these pictures, she definitely looks like she's been through a lot. You see the bandage there, the first picture. We can look at her arms there in the second picture. You know, her hair, she suffered a gash there. So then there is the car. Okay, let's look at the car. The car was definitely damaged with flames. And then there are some other people that are questioning this. Just a question. The accident happened 4 days ago. No one reported anything about a burning vehicle. Photos, I don't know what that means. Let's get full info. It's not that straightforward. So you have people that are doubting what happened. She's lucky to be alive. They wanted her phone for evidence. Kenya is an active crime scene. The accident picture, maybe it was downloaded from the internet. Never trust all you hear. This person says Dr. Mumbi abducted herself, full stop. There is a lot of speculation about what's really happening with Dr. Mumbi. And again, I haven't spoken to Dr. Mumbi in 4 or 5 years on the phone or anything like that. So I haven't talked to her. I don't know what her status is, but I'm not sure as to all that has happened. I do know that she doesn't seem to be the kind of person that would make something like this up from what I do know about her. And if she says that somebody drugged her, it is very possible. I mean, we did see the burning car. Her car was destroyed. And initially I thought that she was beaten up, but it just seems like this was the cause of the accident. The only thing that I can say is this: YouTubers in Africa have to be really concerned about what they say. Even your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'll say certain things in general, but one thing I don't do is call out African presidents. Now I do know that Dr. Mumbi, it calls out Ruto, and for what I understand, Ruto is not as patient as Kenyatta Uhuru. He will come see about you, allegedly, from what they say to me. If you're doing content in Africa, you know, you're gonna have to understand that talking about certain people in these countries is dangerous. And that's why I don't really criticize people directly. I deal with the bigger issues outside of the government. You can say I'm scared if you want, but I don't feel like getting my ass whooped, okay? I like living. I got a mom I gotta take care of and all that type of shit. I don't care nothing about what they're talking about. And I do like it here. But we also gotta understand that our criticism of African governments, even if we're ranting, it's a good possibility it won't change anything, but I do get it. If you don't complain about stuff, it will never change. And there's one group of people that change shit all the time in Africa. Kenyans. They're the only ones that I see do it. I mean, Kenyans can make their president pretty much jump, and you can't do it nowhere else. So I see the winning spirit of Dr. Mumbi, and I applaud it. Going after the president, going after the West, and going after all those other people. But we also gonna have to understand, it's people that don't like that content and they do want to get rid of you. And again, she has told me personally that yes, they have somebody's trashed her stuff, and I believe it because she is a firecracker in Kenya, and people know her all across Africa. I wish Dr. Mumbi well. I wish her nothing but more success. It seems like now she's big on TikTok and has a burgeoning following. So hopefully she's able to come back from this like nothing ever happened. So guys, what do you think? What's your perspective of what happened with this situation? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'm out.